We walk the talk, not only talk the talk.
So my question is, ever since I was in elementary, I've heard
narrative leadership. And myself, I've
It's capital from Jakarta to Ibu Kota Nusantara or IKN.
To conclusions of the roots of the why and the roots of the what to be achieved. So asking why all the time matters a lot. Okay, well, Gerald and Ali. And then once you found that, then consistently echoing that message. Consistently. So if I may use my example, in Indonesia, we have a problems in educations of quality of teachers and lack of teachers distribution. So in rural area, in remote areas, we don't have enough teachers and we don't have quality teachers. So we need to send quality teachers to the most remote area. And the question is, who would do that? I mean, if you're a graduate of Faculty of Economics of Gajah Mada, then there is an offer to be a teacher in the highlands where there's no electricity, there is no phone signals. Would you do it? No, I'd rather work in a bank. I'd rather work in private investment corporations. So this is a problems that we have had for many years. So I look at these problems, and this is my personal experience on creating narratives. And I was not in government. I was fortunate to travel across Indonesia, and I come to conclusions that we need to change the narratives. Because we have been inviting people to serve as teachers with monetary rewards. If you go to the remote areas, we will give you double and triple of your salaries. It's in the monetary values. And it becomes an offer that you can compare. Okay, if I work in a remote area, I get, let's say, 20 million per month. If I start a job in Jogja, let's say I have 7 million a month. Okay, so it's 3 times, I'll do it. You can compare it. But I look at this as a wrong narrative. This is not the narrative that moves people. So we started to change the narratives. We asked simple questions. You're 22 years old, graduate of university. Do you want to have a second home? A village that you call it your second home? Do you want to have a family that is your second family? Do you want to have an experience that one day somebody come to you and said, "Sir, I am where I am today because you come to my village and teach"? Do you want to have a situation where you can say, "I have served my country" at the age of 25? You don't have to be 65 to say, "I'm someone who has served my country." You're only 25 and you're able to say, "I have served my country." Do you want to have the competence that meet global standards, but also have grassroots experience? So all this message is not about monetary, it's not about salary, it's about your experience. Be there, be meaningful, be impactful, and you will gain new features as a young man, as a young woman. And when that narrative changed, suddenly there's so many graduates from best university applying to be a teacher. So when we opened recruitment, we targeted only 500 applicants because the first batch was only 50. So we said, let's recruit best 50 and let's target 500 applicants. It turned out, first batch was 1,500 applicants. Second, third batch is always minimum 15,000 applicants for a slot of around 50 to 100. It's much more difficult to be a teacher in the remote area than to get a scholarship to best universities? Because you change the narratives. Once the narrative changes, then people say, okay, I'm moved by it. And when you meet these best graduates from best engineering schools, they're studying aeronautics, they're studying civil engineering, they're studying, robotics. And then they're serving as elementary school teachers in the remote areas. And when you ask them why you do it, is it for money? Nope, because there's no money involved. It's because the narratives that move you. It's the narrative that create sense of responsibility, sense of urgency. But again, that can only be created once you have the clarity of purpose. And then you start echoing the message in a consistency. And you know what happened next is creation of meanings. All of those people who are involved in this project, they create narratives. So I am only writing the first page. I'm writing only the first chapter. The rest is being written by everyone involved. Everyone shared their stories, and everyone inspired others. But in the original stage, in the early stage, I have to be the one who's going to places and share with consistency that message. So if you do this, I come to conclusion what matters is one, these are the essentials, 1, 2, 3, and then you need to create symbolisms. You need to have a language that fit you, and you have to have a real people experience. We share that stories. I remember when I had that conversations, someone in that conversation told me, Anis, there is no way you can get the best graduates to serve as teachers in the remote area. This is not possible. And then my reaction was, it's possible. Only if you ask them to serve for 1 year and change with another teachers next year. But if you ask them to be there for 25 years, that's no longer rational. Okay? So we need to translate idealistic purpose into a model that rational men and women will do it. If I serve for 1 year, I will do it. But if I have to serve until I retire, then nobody wants to do it. So you create that model and you send that as a part of your narratives. So both of you, these are the same issues, yeah? Daryl and Ali. Now, Bulan. Questionnya boleh diulang, Bu?
So, Anis, what do you think about moving the capital city to Ikara in terms of sustainability, inclusivity? This is a solution to problems that we face.
I've said it over many times that yes, Jakarta faces many environmental challenges. And Jakarta is also experiencing congestion problems. However, moving the capital into a different city does not solve the problems in Jakarta. It's still there. And in fact, if you look at the statistics, we talk about traffic congestions. Fortunately, I serve as governor, so I know a little bit about the number. Government activities contribute.
Halo teman-teman, berjumpa bersama saya di Politik Dangi. Teman-teman, kita tidak bisa berkata-kata apa lagi ya yang bisa kita ungkapkan kepada Anies Baswedan. Sebab beliau terlalu sempurna untuk menjadi seorang tokoh ya. Beliau hebat di berbagai macam. Beliau hebat di dunia politik, beliau hebat di dunia kepemimpinan, beliau hebat di dunia sosial, apalagi di dunia akademik. Ya, kali ini bagaimana mata kita memandang dan mendengar Anies Baswedan memberi kuliah di universitas ya, UGM teman-teman, dan itu bukan bahasa Indonesia, dengan bahasa Inggris yang sangat lancar, dengan bahasa Inggris yang sangat mumpuni. Dan itulah kualitas Anies Baswedan, ya. Seorang tokoh yang benar-benar di atas rata-rata, kelas dunia, ya. Beda dengan para pemimpin kita saat ini, ya. Apalagi Mulyono teman-teman, dan Gibran, ya, Fafa. Inilah kenapa Anies Baswedan dicintai oleh masyarakat. Inilah alasan kenapa Anies Baswedan itu didam-idamkan jadi seorang pemimpin, karena memang beliau adalah tokoh yang sangat luar biasa, tokoh yang sangat mempunyai adab, ilmu yang tinggi, mempunyai kualitas, kapasitas yang hebat. Tidak salah kalau misalnya banyak orang mencintai Anies dan ingin Anies menjadi presiden 2029. Dan ini sungguh luar biasa teman-teman, ya, dicerca dengan bahasa Inggris yang luar biasa, ya. Bagaimana menurut kalian? Kita diskusi di kolom komentar supaya kita ingin tahu apa sih respon kalian terhadap Anies Baswedan.